Effective time management. Do any of these excuses look familiar to you? Today we're going to talk about how to effectively manage your time. Typically, 80% of our effort is unfocused and generates only 20% of our results. The remaining 80% of results are achieved with only 20% of the effort. The challenge is not just to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Today we're going to look at 7 steps to better time management. We're going to talk about how to set goals, avoid distractions and interruptions, organize your workspace, learn to write things down, learn to say no, how to prioritize, and how to use time management tools. To set goals, you want to clarify both short-term goals and priorities as well as long-term objectives. Set aside time on a daily basis for planning. 1 hour of actual planning can save you 3 to 4 hours of work. Write your daily and weekly activities in a schedule with priorities and the time required for implementation. Place your schedule somewhere where you can see it all the time. Avoid the tyranny of urgency. Concentrate on the most important issues first. There are lots of distractions in the common workspace. To get a handle on email, schedule email time. Check and respond to email at low productivity times. Turn emails into action. If an email will take more than a few minutes to respond to, add it as a new action on your to-do list. And keep your email program closed when it's not scheduled. Get in the habit of using instant messaging for small, quick conversations or questions. Let your coworkers know that you prefer them to send a quick IM to check if you have the time for a more complex phone call or email. Don't answer the phone if you're concentrating on something important. Read the news on the internet before you start your day. When you're done, close your internet browser. Schedule short breaks to browse and use blockers and timers to get you back on track. Create a separate user on your computer just for work. It can be helpful to create that separate user that only has programs that you use for work. No internet browsers, chat programs, or email allowed. If they aren't there, you'll be less tempted to use them. If you just want to block access to the internet temporarily, try an internet browsing blocker like Freedom or Webelodium. Research shows that each interruption takes an average of 6 to 9 minutes. Use an interruptions log to figure out your biggest offenders and learn to conquer them. Screen your phone calls to maximize productivity, and remember, once you've been interrupted, take a breath, then refocus on your work. It can take up to 5 minutes to recover from an interruption. Use that time for one of your short internet breaks, then get back on track. Set a timer if necessary. Organize your workspace. Divide and conquer. The first step to organizing your office is to organize your paper trail. Don't keep things that are more than a year old. If you find that you need to, store them in a box and get them off your desk. Prioritize your work and rearrange your desk so that the most important things are closest to you. Keep a close eye on your schedule, but eliminate excessive personal items. Most importantly, spot check once a month. In order to keep a paper avalanche from falling on you again, throw out unnecessary items at least once a month. Catch up on any filing that you have left undone. You'll be amazed at how much more productive you can be. Another important tool is keeping notes. Make sure you write things down. A common time management mistake is to try to use your memory to keep track of too many details, leading to information overload. Using a to-do list to write things down is a great way to take control of your projects and tasks and keep yourself organized. You never know when you're going to have a great idea or a brilliant insight. Carry a small notebook with you wherever you go so you can capture your thoughts. If you wait too long to write them down, you might forget. Make a list of bad habits that are stealing your time, sabotaging your goals, and blocking your success. After you do, work on them one at a time and systematically eliminate them from your life. Remember that the easiest way to eliminate a bad habit is to replace it with something better. Schedule time to set and evaluate goals. Start a journal and write down your progress for each goal. Go through your goal journal each week to make sure you're on the right track. Learn how to say no. Many people become overloaded with too much work because they overcommit. They say yes when they should be saying no. Learn to say no to low priority requests and you'll free up your time to spend time on things that are more important. How many times have you said yes to something you regretted later? Before committing to a new task, stop and think before you give an answer. This will prevent you from taking on too much work. Don't get in the habit of doing other people's work for them. Doing this takes up time that you don't have. Instead, focus on your own projects and goals, learn to delegate, and teach others how to work. Prioritizing your to-do list helps you focus and spend more of the time on the things that really matter. Spend some time at the beginning of each week to plan your schedule. Taking the extra time to do this will help increase your productivity and balance your important long-term projects with your more urgent tasks. All you need is 15 to 30 minutes each week for your planning. Some tasks don't require your best effort. Sending a short email to a colleague, for example, shouldn't take more than a few minutes. Learn to distinguish between tasks that deserve to be done excellently and tasks that just need to be done. When you have the to-do list filled with important tasks, be careful not to get distracted by fillers. Things such as organizing your bookshelf or filing papers can wait until you tackle the things that have a higher priority. Every activity that we do during the day can be put into one of four quadrants: urgent and important, not urgent and important, urgent and not important, and not urgent or important. If I asked you to rank these, it's pretty easy to see that the things that are important and urgent should be the first priority, and things that are unimportant and not urgent should be your last priority. But where should 2 and 3 go? People tend to focus on urgent things, when of course we should be focusing on the important things. If something's not important, why are you wasting your time on it? In Quadrant 1, we have important, urgent things, items that need to be dealt with immediately. In Quadrant 2, we have important but not urgent things, things that need to be planned for. This is where we should put most of our effort. This is where we'll achieve our long-term goals. Quadrant 3 has items that are important, but has items that are urgent but not important. We need to minimize or delete these time sucks. Quadrant 4 is trivial time wasters. We should feel free to ignore these. Now let's turn to our website to examine some time management tools